There was another shooting in Portland. Last night, like I ended stream. I was like, it's all uphill from here or downhill or whatever the good one is. Went out, went grocery shopping, checked my phone while I was at Trader Joe's, and then had while I was leaving, had a conversation with the cashier and the grocery bagger about the shooting in Portland. That was my post stream experience. Good times out there. Good times out there. Basically, Border Patrol shot into a car, shot two people, and then they left the scene, apparently, afterwards. Both of the people shot survived and are being treated in the hospital. And immediately, they announced that both the people shot were associated with the gang Tren de Aragua. Naturally, the FBI is leading the investigation, meaning local police can't get their hands in the pie. The driver of the vehicle was Luis David Nico Moncada, or something like that. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security said in a post on the social media site X, he's from Venezuela and a suspected Tren de Aragua gang member. What did he do to warrant getting shot at? I don't know. He was in a vehicle. I guess that's all it takes, you know? I don't really know much in the way of the details on this one. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't know anything about this shooting. I'm kind of finding out here. The AG for Oregon is opening a formal investigation into the shooting in Portland yesterday. Announced investigation shooting. Clear about our concerns with excessive use of force. Well, I'm glad they're opening investigation, though nothing really matters until charges are filed. Is there like a press conference on this one? Is there any like any information I can pull from? Yeah, there's no footage of this one, so I don't think we have an easy read on what happened. Just one day after the horrific violence in Minnesota, here a deeply troubling incident in Portland. Earlier this afternoon, two people were shot and injured by federal agents in the Hazelwood neighborhood. The funny thing is that unlike the situation in Minneapolis, where you could tell the government was immediately like super defensive, you know, like really, really worried about how it would be perceived. In this case, Homeland Security was fucking gloating about the shooting because the people they shot were brown. Let me see if I can find their post where they throw up the face cards immediately. Oh my god, dude. Look at how proud Homeland Security is of this new camera footage. The camera footage that clearly shows that nothing happened. They're retweeting every fucking right-winger, quote tweeting it. But we're not talking about that right now. Where's the where are the photos they threw up? It was them side by side. I don't see it. You missed it? Up? Am I stupid? Is he stupid? Is he blind? Is he stupid and blind? Is it this one? Nah, it's not that one. This is from 2025. Is it these two? Ah, here we go. Two suspected Tren de Aragua gang associates let loose on American streets by Joe Biden weaponized their vehicle against Border Patrol in Portland. I've heard this one before. The agent took immediate action to defend himself and others shooting them. The driver of the vehicle, Luis David Nico Moncada, is a criminal illegal alien from Venezuela and suspected Tren de Aragua gang member. He illegally entered the U.S. in 2022 and was released into the country by the Biden administration. Since then, he was arrested for DUI and unauthorized use of a vehicle. He has a final order of removal. The passenger, Yorlenis Betsabeth Zambrano Contreras, is a criminal legal... I noticed that they're not providing any information at all on like what they did to get shot. Hopefully some kind of investigation takes place here. I mean, they say an investigation is taking place, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be fruitful. ICE just shot them and left them in the parking lot until a random police officer found them shot later. Yeah, apparently they shot them and then just left. They just left the scene. Here we go, press conference.
Information is limited and won't be speaking to a lot of specifics, but what I can say is that approximately 2:18 this afternoon, Portland police officers responded to the 10,000 block of Southeast Main Street on the report of a shooting. So they came in via...
Is it agitating on purpose? I'm going to take a guess, like 99% chance this is what happened. The ICE or the border security officer shot them for no reason, and then he was like, wait, didn't this literally just fucking happen in Minneapolis? I'm checking my phone right now, and people are really mad online. I don't want to be involved in this. Good night, y'all. Guarantee you. Seriously, I really think that's it.
911 call. Officers confirmed that federal agents had been involved in a shooting. Portland police were not involved.
How do we know I shot them if local police found them? Because the Portland FBI office initially tweeted out that the shooting was conducted by Border Patrol agents, and then deleted the tweet, presumably when it got the expected response.
That incident. About 6 minutes later, at 2:24 p.m., officers received information, once again through dispatch, that a man who had been shot was calling and requesting help in the area of Northeast 146.
Yeah, he called the cops, the guy who had been shot. Like, border security shot him, left, and he called the cops on himself because he had been shot.
6th and East Burnside. Our officers responded. We found.
Oh, here's the dispatch audio. Please.
Ward, take it away.
Yeah. This is the first real dispatch audio we've gotten from this shooting earlier today, kind of giving you an idea of what the initial response looked like to this shooting by federal agents today. I'm not going to dwell too much on this. I'm just going to let you listen because it's pretty telling of what exactly happened. Just take a listen.
Stage at your discretion, police are en route. It looks like caller saying that he was shot twice by ICE and his wife was shot as well. Your top group is going to be Ops 1, Engine 7 with Medic 314 and Medic 321 with police en route. This will be a shooting at the Brea Apartments, 10 Northeast 146 Avenue. They have a male.
So I understand that we know that the federal government lies as easily as they breathe. Everything they say is a lie. You should never, ever assume they say anything truthful. If they told you the sky was blue, you should double check. But if these guys were super dangerous Tren de Aragua members who tried to ram an ICE officer with their vehicle, why didn't they get, arrested? Like the federal agent shot into the car and then just, good night, y'all, just left them there. Like, if they had a gun, if they had a gun in the car, they could have procured it and shot back. Didn't. Just shot him and left. No arrest. Didn't call anyone. Just left. Is that something you typically do with, like, criminals?
Who was shot twice in the arm, and his wife who was shot in the chest.
All right, and that is that audio that we were just speaking about coming from dispatch today. A couple things you probably noted that you're hearing in that dispatch audio. We have not been able to confirm yet because, again, this is coming from dispatch. These are the initial reports, but things that we had not heard before or been able to confirm. You heard the dispatcher there referencing a man and his wife. That is the first time we have heard that the two had some sort of marital relationship. We have not been able to confirm that information yet, but interesting you heard that in the dispatch audio. Another thing that you may have heard reference to being shot twice in the...
Like, we are now at the point where they're just killing people randomly. I said this was going to happen. There's always been an element of this in American policing, but there are always degrees of severity. We are at this point now, freely. Like, they literally just random assassination, walk off. Like, there's not even a pretense of legitimacy here. The only reason that the Homeland Security account feels comfortable talking about this, the only reason they feel more at home defending this is because the people who are shot are brown. If you are black or brown, you can be killed at any time for any reason, okay? There is no, like, if you're white, at the very least, there is the slightest, like, the most minute barrier, the knowledge that it's going to be taken a little bit more seriously. But if you are black or brown, it's just the easiest for them. It's just no effort, no thought. This doesn't apply to Slavic people, by the way. Well, of course, they're not white.
Arm the man involved in this, and the
why shouldn't protesters be open carrying at this point? Which is their legal right, their constitutional right, I might add, by the way. Look, open carrying at protests is extremely dangerous, and things can get out of hand very, very quickly. But what I'm saying right now is not a normative statement, it is a descriptive statement. I am telling you what the world we exist in is like and what it is going to be like, okay? If nothing is done, that will be the only recourse. If the widespread position from local police, local attorney generals, whatever else, in Minneapolis, in Portland, in Seattle, Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, whatever, if their position is, well, these federal agents are federal, they can just do whatever they want, we can't really stop them, the most we can do is meekly open an investigation and maybe arrest somebody 6 months later, then yes, people are going to start wandering the street with guns, which is their legal right, by the way. The right was all in favor of it when Kyle Rittenhouse did it, but it will not just be one guy. It'll be lots of them. And then it'll really get started. That is not an endorsement. I genuinely don't think that armed protests, for the most part, are a good thing. They are overwhelmingly more dangerous and tend to be less effective. They also tend to be smaller because nobody wants to join up with an armed protest because they know what that implies. But this will happen. All of this will happen. The only way to prevent violence, the only way to stop the blood flow is for, in these cities, local police departments to start tailing ICE, which they are legally allowed to do. These federal agents are not acting lawfully. They are murdering with impunity. Local police need to send dispatches to stalk them. Do the same thing to these federal officers that the Black Panther Party did to cops in Chicago, okay? Follow them around. Breathe down the back of their necks. And the moment they do anything, you arrest them. Ask questions later. You can arrest people, then press charges later. Cops love doing that. If any of these police or AGs or mayors are actually interested in stopping people from dying and in preventing violence, that is what they need to do.
Dispatcher says his wife shot twice in the chest, which kind of gives you an idea of potentially the seriousness of both of their injuries. Obviously, chest injury is going to be a little bit more severe in a lot of cases. But
thank you for your input. Here's the press conference of the shooting in Portland.
A male and a female with apparent gunshot wounds. Officers applied a tourniquet and summoned emergency medical personnel. The patients were transported to local hospital, and their conditions at this time are unknown. Officers have determined that the two people who were injured in the shooting involving the federal agents from the earlier call. PPB officers secured both scenes, and this is a federal investigation. It's being led by the FBI. We have been in touch with them. We are, in regular contact. This is their responsibility, but
I'm sure the FBI will do a wonderful job investigating this murder or attempted murder conducted by one of their own.
When we have these type of events happen in the city, Portland Police Bureau does offer a level of assistance. This is not in any way, shape, or form immigration related on our end.
Civil war doesn't normally start with people shooting other people. It starts when institutions like the National Guard and ICE stop respecting each other's authorities. Just remember that, there are very few ICE agents in total. They're poorly trained and stretched thin. In every single major city where ICE is present, they are outnumbered enormously by local police. It would not be impossible, not even that difficult, for their major operations to be observed by police 24/7. They are allowed to do that.
Do not know the facts of this case. We are simply providing that traditional investigative support and perimeter support, which is minimal. But I do want to make it clear that we are out there, but we are not involved in immigration. And we at this time do not know if this is an immigration-related event. We do not know which federal agencies were involved. As we know, there are many federal agencies serving in the city of Portland right now. So as I said, it's a complex situation with a lot of different information coming out. But Portland Police is on the scene, the detectives, etc. I want to say, that I'm saddened that we are here once again in a difficult, challenging, complex situation. But I'm also incredibly grateful for Portland.
Dog, federal agents just shot into the car, attempted to murder two people, then walked off. The only way police even found out was because those who had been shot called the police. This was just a drive-by. This was a crime. There is literally no version of these events where the federal agent did not commit a crime.
I'm grateful for the way that we have continued to show up over the past year, and we have certainly been tested, and this is no small circumstance. The uncertainty and the fear and the sadness within our community is real, and as the Chief Law Enforcement of the City of Portland, I recognize that, our members recognize that, and we are doing everything in our power to maintain that level of peace and calm and safety. And I want to thank Portlanders who have continued to show up in this space as well, and hopeful that they will do so over the next couple of days, as I'm expecting many to want to express their frustration and disappointment with events today. As I said, this is early.
Frustration and disappointment. I'm so disappointed.
We do not know the cause but we are engaged, and hopefully we'll have more information as the evening unfolds. I'm going to turn it over now to Mayor Wilson.
Thank you, Chief. And just want to also just reiterate what he talked about the city standing tall and really standing together. And I've been before you already too many times under these circumstances, but I'm grateful that every time I do make the call within such a short period of time that the Madam Governor will answer the call, and all of the individuals standing behind me and all of our elected officials and community leaders are standing with us as well. And we've always stood together, and we will continue to stand together. Just one day after the horrific violence in Minnesota, our community here in Portland was witness to a moment of fear, confusion, and heartbreak. Earlier this afternoon...
Yeah, I don't know if I can stand this audio. Also, it doesn't sound like anyone here is saying anything interesting. Confusion and heartbreak. It was a fucking drive-by. Look, like I said, the DA is conducting an investigation. But again, you can issue an arrest literally whenever you want. Like, you can put out a warrant whenever you want. Whenever you're ready. Who would they arrest? They got the fuck away. Somehow this has not stopped police officers from issuing arrest warrants for people in the past when the suspect is unknown. You know, somehow the police seem to have a wide range of power and discretion when dealing with regular people, but all that evaporates when dealing with federal officers, in spite of the fact that they're subject to the exact same laws as everyone else. This is what happens when you get them really, really used to the idea that cops are completely unaccountable to the law. Decades and decades and decades of officer-involved shooting, qualified immunity. Oh, you know, wow, he's getting off with, you know, with fucking unpaid leave for murdering a guy. Now fascism's here in a very overt sense. And, wow, all of a sudden we're all really uncomfortable prosecuting cops. Absolute immunity is kind of weird, actually. There's no such thing as absolute immunity. That is a fake term that is made up by conservatives to scare people into thinking there's nothing you can do about them. The agents didn't just leave them. The couple fled. The wounded people drove the truck more than 2.5 miles from where they were shot and they were taken to a hospital. Then why didn't ICE call that in? Or follow them? I mean, what can the average person do legally against ICE offenses? They functionally have absolute immunity if no recourse to be given. I mean, you have to exercise, you have to be very intelligent, you have to film them, you have to, you know, try to keep yourself safe. I don't know, like, there's no, like, secret sauce here, you know? There's no, like, this mom discovered a trick, 9 out of 10 doctors hate you, etc.